Welcome to another season, another episode of Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. We are reading chapter 41 to chapter 50 here, so here we go. Chapter 41 of Don't Sweat the Small Stuff says, avoid weatherproofing. Avoid weatherproofing. The idea of weatherproofing as it pertains to the peaceful living is a metaphor to explain one of our most neurotic, ungrateful tendencies. It comes from a friend of mine, Dr. George Pransky. Just as we can weatherproof a home for the winter by looking for cracks, leaks, and imperfections, we can also weatherproof our relationships, even our lives, by doing the very same thing. Essentially, weatherproofing means that you are on the careful lookout for what needs to be fixed or repaired. It's finding the cracks and flaws of life, and either trying to fix them or at least point them out to others. Not only does this tendency alienate you from other people, it makes you feel bad too. It encourages you to think about what's wrong with everything and everyone, what you don't like. So, rather than appreciating our relationships and our lives, weatherproofing encourages us to end up thinking that life isn't all it's cracked up to be. Nothing is ever good enough the way it is. In our relationships, weatherproofing typically plays itself out like this. You meet someone and all is well. You are attracted to his or her appearance, personality, intellect, sense of humor, or some combination of these traits. Initially, you not only approve of your differences with this person, you actually appreciate them. You might even be attracted to the person in parts because of how different you are. You have different opinions, preferences, tastes, and priorities. After a while, however, you begin to notice little quirks about your new partner or friend, teacher, whoever, that you feel could be improved upon. You bring it to their attention. You might say, you sure have a tendency to be late, or I've noticed you don't read very much. The point is, you've begun what inevitably turns into a way of life, looking for and thinking about what you don't like about someone or something that isn't quite right. Obviously, an occasional comment, constructive criticism, or helpful guidance isn't cause for alarm. I have to say, however, that in the course of working with hundreds of couples over the years, I've met very few people who didn't feel that they were weatherproofed at the time by their partner. Occasional harmless comments have an insidious tendency to become a way of looking at life. When you are weatherproofing another human being, it says nothing about them, but it does define you as someone who needs to be critical. Whether you have a tendency to weatherproof your relationships, certain aspects of your life, or both, what you need to do is write off weatherproofing as a bad idea. As the habit creeps into your thinking, catch yourself and seal your lips. The less often you weatherproof your partner or your friends, the more you will notice how super life really is.
I see the light inside you, brighter than the skies.
This reminds me of a scenario. I don't know if it fits here, but it just reminds me of the scenario. So there is a moment where you are so scared of what could happen in life to the extent that you are building bridges around you. You are building walls around you. You meet someone who is interested in you for a relationship, an intimate relationship, a marriage, and you write them off instantly because you are thinking that it may not go well, it may not end well. What if it ends in tears? I am seeing that there is a weatherproofing here. What this chapter is telling us is that we need to avoid being so critical about some of the things in life. Even not all. Once you become very critical, you critique almost everything about almost everyone. And one outstanding thing is that the people we critique, some of them may not even see it as a positive thing coming from us. Okay, So when you become so critical at some things, or when you become so critical to someone, the tendency of offending the person is very high. So we are just learning here that in as much as we feel the urge to correct, to criticize, to point out issues, we should also analyze how the person is going to feel, what impact it's going to have on the person. And then, if possible, let's seal our lips. Seal your lips. And definitely there is another way. Almost all the time, there is another way to go about something. So let's seal our lips, avoid weatherproofing, and find a good alternative way to address such issues. If you are my friend, if I am your friend, your very good friend, the least you want to do to me is to always spoil my day by criticizing me, my looks, my appearance, my actions. Definitely once in a while I may look some way that you want to ask me, am I okay? Yeah, once in a while it happens like that. And once in a while you may grow so fond of your partner that you ask your partner, why are you looking like this today? That this doesn't look good. This makes you look ugly. This makes you look unattractive. You see those kind of words that we just say and go, they really get to some people so much so that they don't want to leave again. Yeah, it's that bad. You may weatherproof someone for the good part of it, but the person may receive it for the negative part of it. So let's learn to be very, 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 emphasis on very empathetic when we are attending to people, approaching people, and communicating to people. I'll see you in the next episode. That will be chapter 42. Bye-bye.